welcome back. Today we are talking about cyclical content creation. And if you know me, you know I love a bit of alliteration. So this is a 3C and it feels great, and I'm very excited to dive into today's topic. If you are a modern businesswoman, you have to be creating some form of content. Now, you can choose to create as much content or as little content. You can choose what kind of content to create, what kind you do not want to create. I'm not here to tell you what to create, but I am just here to let you know that you are creating content as a business owner, no matter what kind of business you're in, no matter whether you're a pet medium or a nail artist for chimpanzees. I don't know. Whatever your business is, whether you're a coach, whether you're a yoga teacher, whether you own a business selling products, you are creating content. And if you're not, you don't have a business, because content is everything. Like your website copy, content, your posts on Instagram, content, your statuses on Facebook, if that's the only thing you create, content, LinkedIn posts, content, right? We live in the world of content. I was listening to a podcast today and it was a woman talking about content, and I was like, how many freaking times can we say this word in the podcast? And now I am realizing that I am doing that. So I really apologize for the amount of times I'm going to say content in this episode. But what we're talking about is cyclical content creation. You may love creating reels. You may love writing posts. You may love showing up on Instagram stories. You may absolutely get a kick out of filming YouTube videos. But the reality is we all have our content creation frustrations. I am sure that you have sat down to film a reel and it has taken you 2 hours or a ridiculous amount of time, and it has felt clunky, and it is either crashed and it's not worked, or you just throw the phone across the room. Maybe you're in tears because it's just not working. I've been there. I know so many other women that have been there. You're not alone. Maybe you have gone to write a post and you have spent so long obsessing over what to say, how to say it, only to post it and then have no one read it. Crickets, nothing. I am sure that we have all got some form of content frustration, and that's okay. I'm not claiming that cyclical content creation is going to completely eliminate all frustrations. We are human. We are also talking about technology, and that in and of itself can often be frustrating. And even when we're in flow, sometimes our tech doesn't cooperate. But what I am saying in terms of cyclical content creation is that you can eliminate as many of the frustrations as humanly possible, right? We're not transcending the human realm and like getting rid of any kind of all frustrations, but we are making it as simple, as streamlined, as effective and efficient as possible so that you can create impactful and magnetic content that you're really proud of with less time, less energy, and less effort. If that sounds like something that you want, throw your hands up, say hell yes. If you're watching this video, you can see me doing a little happy dance, because this is one of the best things to come out of cyclical business for me, is understanding when to create content. So this question I get asked a lot of when should I create content? And there's no, I feel like I always say this, there's no one answer, because content creation, there's many steps to it, right? So I'm going to touch on just some of the basics of when to create certain types of content in alignment with your cycle so that you can have more flow and ease in the creation process. So if you have a podcast, if you have a Instagram page or a YouTube video, somewhere where you're speaking, right? Even reels and TikToks and all that sort of thing. You want to be creating content where you're speaking, just like I am now, whether that's in a podcast form, whether that's going live on Instagram or in your Facebook group, whether that's a reel that you're sitting down and actually sharing your voice. Basically, any form of content where you're showing up, you're showing your face, and you're sharing your voice. You want to be trying your best to batch that content during your inner summer. Because your inner summer, when you're ovulating, you have the most energy, the most confidence, and you're most articulate during this phase. So your voice is going to flow more naturally than it will in any other season of your cycle. You're going to be more confident and less in your head about, oh, how do I look? Or is people like this? Do I sound stupid? All of those negative self-talk things that are quite common in our inner autumn and obviously inner winter are really quiet during our inner summer because we're at our peak of confidence. It's like this I'm here energy, I'm ready energy, and we want to be harnessing that and showing up for our people, showing up for our clients, our customers, our community during our inner summer by using our voice. And this changed the game for me. Like most of my podcast episodes, I film in my inner summer because I know that I'm going to be able to get the message across with more ease. The actual recording time is like halved because I spend less time fumbling over my words or doubting what I've just said or starting and restarting, stopping and starting and all that sort of stuff. It just flows so much more easily. So anything using your voice, doing it during your inner summer is really helpful. If you're struggling with copywriting, writing your captions, writing your emails, writing your website copy, or anything that is words, anything that is long form or even short form writing, this is really excellent to focus on in your inner autumn. In your inner autumn or inner fall, depending on how you want to say it, in your premenstrual phase, your focus, your brain is primed for more focus. You have greater attention to detail, meaning when you're writing, you're going to notice what needs to be changed. Maybe a word needs to be shifted for it to come across better. Your articulation in word form is heightened at this time because your attention to detail and your focus is really, really heightened at this time of your cycle. So for me, I like to write a lot of my emails that don't just come in the moment. Like some of them, I just sit down and I have a burst of creativity or energy or something wants to come out and I write it in the moment. Same thing with recording TikToks and, recording a podcast episode. If something's coming up for me in a season that I don't typically do the thing in, I still do it anyway because we want to also be, harnessing the present moment. But most of my written content is done in my inner autumn. I can sit down in my inner autumn and write 10 to 15 posts in maybe about an hour. Whereas in any other season of my cycle, it takes me probably an hour to write one, right? So it just makes it so much more easy. So if you have any form of writing to do and that's something you really struggle with, I encourage you to try it within the first half of your inner autumn when you still have that confidence, you still have that clarity and that energy of your inner summer as you transition into your inner autumn, but you also have the added focus and attention to detail and the particular, there's no bullshit in your inner autumn. You have no room for fluff. So you're going to create content that cuts to the core of what you're going to say. You're not going to be writing filler content. If I write a post in my inner spring, I know it's going to be fluffy. It's going to beat around the bush. It might read beautifully, but it's really more likely to lack substance. But when I write a post in my inner autumn, that is the powerful, juicy posts that move people, that make people go, oh my God, yes, I feel that. I want to work with her. Or, oh my God, that makes so much sense. I never thought of it that way. Because you yourself have no time for the bullshit, for the fluff, for the things that don't matter, right? And you can still articulate in a soft, feminine, and beautiful, poetic way. That's not to say that all your posts written in order will be harsh. That's just to say that they will come across with more potency and power if you focus on doing your writing in your inner order. Now, there are so many more things that are involved in the content creation process. And for me to sit down here and tell you exactly what season to create every single step and every kind of content in relation to your cycle seasons would take, it could be like a 3-hour masterclass. And I don't want to bombard you with that in one podcast episode. But what I would like to invite you into, if you are wanting to do content creation in a cyclical way that's more efficient, that's more magnetic, that gives you greater results, that gives you more time and less stress and frustration, then I invite you to join my free Facebook community, the CEO Sisterhood. That is where I do weekly trainings and lives, sometimes 3 times a week, talking all about these kinds of subjects, everything cyclical business. I also have Q&A threads for you to ask any questions, and that is where you're going to want to be if you want to go even deeper into the subjects that I talk about on the podcast. The podcast is going to be packed and is packed with so much value and so much information. But going deeper, the next step is joining the Facebook group. So if you're interested in that, please join. It is completely free. We're a community of like-minded, soulful CEOs, and it's just the best. It's absolutely the best. And if you want to go even deeper and you're interested in having me help you one-on-one with your content creation process and helping you to sync your cycle, sync your business with your cycle, then I also do have some spaces available for one-on-one coaching, one-on-one cyclical business coaching, and I have spaces available for free 30-minute clarity calls if that's something that interests you. It's just basically where we sit over Zoom, have a cup of tea, and have a chat about your goals, your desires in business, and how I can help you using my cyclical business framework. So I hope this has been helpful for you. I hope this has even just given you a new perspective that content creation can be fun, it can be easeful, it doesn't have to feel like a chore, and that's what I want for you. In a world where our businesses really rely on us creating content and building audience through engaging content, it needs to feel easeful. Otherwise, we're going to go insane, and that is where the sustainability comes in. Cyclical business gives you success, spaciousness, and sustainability. Because if you feel like it's a chore, you're not going to create content. If you're not creating content, your business isn't going to be sustainable. You're going to give up, right? It's just going to feel crap. So I hope this has been helpful. Thank you so much for listening, and I cannot wait to see you in the next episode.